was a storied year in the competition's history. It lives so vividly. 1977, a pair of grand finals, the first to draw North Melbourne and Collingwood, and then the Kangaroos prevailing in the replay. They'll be gathered together on Saturday night when the Kangaroos and Collingwood play. They'll be reminiscing about those glory days, 1977. And two of those Kangaroos are with us tonight. The man who was holding the cup aloft, David Dench, welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting me in here. It's good.
Ross Henshaw, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, Jared, and Robbo.
How vivid is it when you see those images?
Well, great memories, great memories. It was a challenging year because we played 27 games to win that flag. Got beaten in the first final by Hawthorn, and then beat Richmond the following week, and then won the preliminary final against Hawthorn. And then the siren went in the drawn grand final, and what do? What happens now?
How were your two grand finals, Ross? How'd you play?
Oh, I played my role, Robbo. Yeah, played my role.
I suppose you had to spend half the time looking after Dench's man because he's galloping up the ground as the birth of the attacking defender.
David was an outstanding player, Robbo. It was a pleasure to play alongside him. And I must admit that one-on-one he was hardly ever beaten, so I just darted out the pocket and I'd always get it.
What about for you, Premiership captain? David, when you're looking at that footage, what do you feel?
Well, I guess as a kid growing up, your ambition is to play league football. That's every kid that plays football, but I think the ultimate is to hold that cup up as captain of the Premiership side. And through an unfortunate injury to Keith, I was able to achieve that in the second grand final. Mind you, after the drawn grand final, I think it was just that flat. No one knew what we were going to do now, but when I look back at it, it's sort of, I was really proud and pleased to be able to achieve that with the great team, the great guys that we had playing at North in that era, that whole 10-year period.
How's the camaraderie 4 decades on?
A few are not with us anymore and what have you, but you don't live in each other's pocket. You go up to Chuka where Ken Montgomery and Frank Gumbleton live. I'll always give them a call and we always sort of catch up for a coffee or a beer or something like that. And when we've got a night, Friday night, down at the club for a couple of hours, and it'll be just like we've been mates and we've been hanging around together the whole time. So it's good because we've shared something special.
When you walked in, Ross, actually, 2 nights ago I described to someone, last time I saw Ross Henshaw, he looked like General Custer. He had the little moustache, the goatee beard, a bit of red hair. Is that right or not?
Oh, I don't think it was ever red, right?
No? And I thought he looked like someone from the past. A hippie? Was that a hippie era? Were you a hippie?
Oh, it was the 70s, Robbo.
What happened in the 70s?
I drove a ute.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to uni and I was into my music and into my
No, that'll do.
yeah.
You fill in the rest?
This is your life. Do you know this voice?
How have you observed the evolution of what you started, David, and you watch the defenders of these days? Can you see the seed of what you planted?
I can, but then there was a time there where I think it was getting out of hand, where kicking back, it's game of possession and what have you. But I really believe the last 5 or 6 years, it's getting more direct, but more and more players are running, and that's what the game's all about. And I think we're heading in the right direction now. I really do. I remember I've spoken to you a few times
yeah, we have.
Over the years about that, and I thought, well, OK, it's just like a game of basketball. Retain possession no matter what you do. Look, if we were back in the 70s under Brass and dared kick the ball backwards, would have been dragged off that quick, we would have ended up with pneumonia, sitting on the bench. But that's how the game's evolved and that's how the game's changed. So they're now, but I believe they're now getting, not aggressive, but they're now getting more direct and going straight at the ball and taking it straight down the centre.
I hope this is right when I say this. Did you kick the first goal of one of those grand finals?
The drawn grand final.
For the drawn grand final. So I was only 10 years of age, so I'm watching the full back.
Rub it in.
Sorry, mate. But I'm watching the full back.
Robbo.
The full back kicked the first goal.
In 77, yeah.
Of the grand final. And I thought, and I mean, I worked so long with McShane and John Anderson. So I was only a kid watching you then, and we've spoken so often about the birth of the real attacking defender. And I mean, God, fullback, it could happen now, Ross, a fullback kicking the first goal. People would say, yeah, I sort of understand that. In 77, that's incredible.
Very, very attacking. I mean, we had a coach that encouraged that sort of play, and I mean, David was a natural at it, and I guess it rubbed off on all of us really. And I guess quick movement of the footy, we caught a lot of sides out, especially Hawthorn. You know, they tried to hold us up a lot, but you know, Dench was a good pinch it type player. Like he went forward a little bit, and along with the late Darryl Sutton. He did it very well too, and of course Croswell was very good at it as well. I never ever got the opportunity because I wasn't good enough.